Welcome to Practically Divine. Today we're going to talk about the closing energy of this July into August. So I told y'all in a YouTube shorts and also on my other social platforms, we have over 15 squares coming to the end of this month. And that is crazy to me, which is why I want to talk about it. When we talk about astrology, there are aspects. These aspects are angles where, think of that circle of the astrology chart as like a coordinate grid, okay? So you got your coordinates where all those planets are sitting. They create extended lines that cross. Those are your aspects. And so depending on the amount of degrees, remember like in trigonometry and stuff like that, we had our different angles. We had our 90 degrees angles, our squares. We had our conjunctions would indicate like parallel lines that are 10 degrees apart, stuff like that. So squares are just huge intensive energy. Now, they're not bad. People get scared of them. You don't have to be scared of them, but they are a lot of tension, okay? Think of squares like the amount of pressure that you're feeling from a square could feel like you're pushing a car and it's got blocks for wheels. You're not getting anywhere. Or it's like a rubber band getting pulled. It's getting pulled more and more. The tension's building and building until boop, snap, you broke it. Now, one of them gets in your way. One of that energy, it's so much friction. You feel like you can't move. You're not getting anywhere. It's really frustrating. The other one is like pressure, 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 boom, release, activate, So let's talk about what we got going on. So I wrote it down here. I'm staring at it right now. So the day before, July 31st, Venus enters Cancer. Cancer, people are like home, hearth, family, whatnot, So the deal with that is that, we're always talking about introspection. Now is the time of introspection. Now is the time of working on yourself. That will come up in August. Venus has entered Cancer. Jupiter's already there. And Jupiter is a planet of expansion, magnification. So as Venus gets closer to Jupiter, you will deal with more home life, more taking care of yourself, hanging out with the family or having things happen with the family as we're going further into August. But the reason that this July closing energy of chaos and like tension and like bombastic energy is because the sun is square the moon, Lilith, and ascendant. The moon is square Mercury, Pluto, and the midheaven. Mercury is squared Lilith and the ascendant. You got Venus squares Mars, Saturn, Neptune, and the ascendant. Oh my God, your hopes and dreams are gonna be hard to accomplish. You're gonna feel like stuff's blowing up in your face and be like, my God, why? It's all these squares, man. Pluto is square Chiron in the ascendant. Now, what I'm gonna tell you, Pluto, I'm not that worried about Pluto. Why am I not worried about Pluto that much? Because I wanna talk about helping you guys. The way that I do my work is about improving the self. It's improving quality of life. Whether that's we're looking at the astrology to improve quality of life, or we're going to do spell work to improve quality of life. That's what I care about, is quality of life. So the reason that I'm not concerned with the Pluto square, okay, we're going to take two of these squares out, is because Pluto's an outside planet. It is an outer planet, which means it's not that impactful to personal stuff. So your inner planets, which would be your Mercury, your Venus, your Mars, that has to do with you as an individual, what has to do with your life, right? So what I'm interested in is what I can tell you to help you personally, about personal growth, how to make your life easier, because life doesn't have to be that hard. We're about improving quality of life up here in this bitch, okay? So the problem with these squares and how I feel about it, right, is because the sun is square the moon, your energy levels are going to be highly impacted by your emotions, by your subconscious, especially so because Venus is putting that pressure on Mars and Saturn. Some people consider it like fate. It's a malefic planet. Mars is a malefic planet as well, because apparently we have to have nice planets and mean planets for some reason. That's the whole thing, y'all can Google. It's going to be hard to focus on your goals. It's going to be hard to feel motivated to do things. You have all these plans and all these things that you want to do. You're going to be so mad and frustrated very easily. Something gets inconvenient, your computer's not cooperating with you, your camera equipment is not cooperating with you. You're going to be like, you know, it'd be like that sometimes. It really be like that. But just know that this tension, this friction, this frustration, you can use it to your benefit. You can make it productive for yourself. Now, the way that some people will look at horoscopes and things like that is, in order to help yourself, you would be like, okay, well, I know this day is going to be really crappy, so let me set myself up for success and let me make sure that I don't, sabotage myself. That is one way to do it. The other way would be, how do we use this tension? How do we use this friction? That could be cutting people away. That could be cutting certain hobbies, cutting certain habits, because at the end of the day, you want to feel good. How do we feel good? We got to make changes to our life. We got to do things that are going to improve quality of life. We got to do things that are going to improve our mood. If people have us down, we got to switch it up and either address those relationships in order for them to be more beneficial, or it's snip time. It'd be like that. Friendships are sometimes for a good time, not a long time. And when the good time's over, you invested a lot of time into it, but sometimes staying in it's a loss. So we got the pressure on our subconscious mind. Our energy levels are going to be dependent on our mood, which means it's going to affect our abilities to accomplish our desires, because our energy levels are going to be all out of funk. My neurodivergent people, good luck. My depressed people, anxious people, good luck. What else do I have in my notes here? Mercury being square the ascendant. I don't really care about the Lilith. I know, bad astrologer, but whatever. The Mercury being square the ascendant. Mercury is currently in retrograde. In the Gatorade. This is going to make it really hard for you to save face. If you are being a fake person, good luck being a fake person, because everyone's going to see right through you and it's going to blow up in your face. I said what I said. Some of that's already been happening because people messy. Because Mercury is in Leo, and Leo is all about pride and ego. And if you're not an authentic person living in your authenticity, it's gonna blow up in your face. It probably already has, and it will keep doing that. And I will laugh with my popcorn. This is another thing we're already seeing: people pushing against false leaders, authority, people saying enough is enough. The magnification of Jupiter is going to be going into August. So more protests, more demonstrations, more activist work, which is good and essential. Pat on the back, Egypt. The bottles are working. That is what we have coming up. A lot of pressure, a lot of tension. It can propel you forward, or you're literally going to smack your face straight into a wall. That's what we have going on. And what advice would I give? Try to slow down. If you slow down in making your decisions or going about your day, which means, giving yourself more time in case you're going to be late, or, arriving early to things, whatever have you, right? It will help. It always helps no matter the situation. Because the thing is, you have fire trying to compete with water, and it's competing with two different water signs, because the subconscious mind is in Scorpio, while your hopes and dreams and desires are in Cancer. You have Scorpio and Cancer energy trying to compete with Leo. So if somebody makes a comment at you, they say something out of pocket, count to 10 and then react. Because if you just go, what? It's gonna blow up in your face. It will blow up. It'll be so bad. So I'm gonna rewatch this footage and then see if I forgot anything, because I usually don't make long videos like this, and I need to start making long videos like this. But guess who also self-sabotages? Me. I'm really just tired, but yeah. It's hard. I'm Saturn ruled. What can I say? Being Saturn ruled is exhausting. Okay, bye. Thank you for watching today's video. If you're interested in a reading, I do tarot readings. I go live on TikTok. Once I have enough subscribers here on YouTube, I will go live on YouTube. And also, I just talk about astrology for fun. I also use astrology and utilize it in my magic, like when I do spells. Yes, I do witchcraft. So if you want to ask me more questions about that, sure. But I don't do chart readings. But I do spell work. I have tarot readings. I also have enchanted jewelry and enchanted sprays and oils.